Multiple headlines in the run-up to Donald Trump's state visit to the UK predicted a clash between the US president and Theresa May over the Chinese technology company Huawei. One newspaper even reported that America's commander-in-chief planned to tell his British host he may limit US intelligence sharing with the UK over Chinese spying concerns if Britain allows Huawei to be a part of the country's next-generation mobile network. But the threats, if they were ever made, never morphed into any open display of disunity. Instead, there were smiles, warm words about the agreement, and a declaration that the president saw no limitations in UK-US intelligence sharing. Only Mr. Trump didn't specify why he felt this way given the unanswered Huawei factor. Asked at a joint press conference with Theresa May whether he would limit the flow of US secrets to Britain over its position on the Chinese firm, Mr. Trump said, "No, because we are going to have absolutely an agreement on Huawei and everything else. We have an incredible intelligence relationship and we will be able to work out any differences." It's a declaration that only makes sense if the UK's position on Huawei has shifted to match the US ditch now stance, or if the president has decided he is fine with Britain exploring the possibility of giving the Chinese firm access to non-core elements of its 5G networks. The latter scenario seems highly unlikely given the hardline Mr. Trump is taking on China. He has banned any Huawei presence in the US federal telecoms network. His security advisor, John Bolton, told journalists ahead of the state visit that Washington was prepared to take zero risk on this matter. Fundamentally, no final decision has yet been taken by Britain on its relationship with Huawei and 5G. There is still a debate going on about the need to balance U.S. security concerns with the desire to maintain good economic relations with China, which will in the coming years overtake the United States as the biggest economy in the world. It's a policy decision that will almost certainly be left to the next Tory leader to make. Mrs. May had appeared to be in favor of a midway stance that kept Huawei out of Britain's core 5G network but allowed it access to other areas. But this was a position that has caused concern within U.S. circles even though Mr. Trump made no public mention of it. Frontrunners in the Tory leadership race have signaled an approach more in line with the U.S. way of thinking, which would mean saying no to Huawei on any aspect of 5G. Foreign Secretary Jeremy Hunt, who had a relatively decent chunk of FaceTime with the president during his 3-day stay in the UK, said last week he would never harm the intelligence-sharing relationship between Britain and its closest ally. Perhaps Mr. Trump was assured that this kind of attitude is the one that will prevail given that Mrs. May is fast becoming yesterday's woman. If so, that would explain his good mood.